There's no more important time than now. We're running out of time, in fact. There's a race between consciousness and catastrophe.
The urgency that we are facing every single day is that the world is moving ahead at an exponential rate.
We have a ticking clock here. We are not going to get more time.
Hatch is a conglomerate of superhumans who come together and share their talents with each other and connect people into the human experience in a way that pushes them to think differently about their life and what they're bringing to the world.
Hatch has evolved and transformed over the years. It's our 16th year, 24th summit. We brought 125 people, 17 next-gen students, and all sorts of diversity, various walks of life, industries, perspective, ages, to cross-pollinate and work on accelerating solutions for global challenges. We're on a mission to hatch a better world.
One focus of Hatch that is also really different from other events that I've been to has been this focus on the Sustainable Development Goals, of really articulating where is your work feeding into some of the most important problems that we face as a human society and non-human species too.
At current soil degradation rates, we have about 60 harvests left on this planet, so we do not have time to waste.
If we continue to pollute our oceans as we are today, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish by 2050.
Reports coming out of the United Nations telling us that if you don't take action in the next 10 years, it will be too late for all of us.
We cannot have trash everywhere and still keep on going as business as usual.
It is our obligation as a species to connect with each other and generate ideas, innovation, and solutions to these big picture problems.
We've been doing the lab sprints for about half of the lifespan of the 16 years of Hatch, and it was really born out of necessity, knowing that we have this much human capital in one place at one time, that we have a responsibility to the planet in this time of need to make best use of those 10,864 collective hours of life force that we're all together. But it's a responsibility we take very seriously.
You create this moment of time, you bring these remarkable people together, you work on these big problems. But there is really another process that happens after this, where you try to keep that momentum going, and Hatch is really thoughtful about that.
Hatch is very transformative, as you're all experiencing. When you focus just on this moment of time, you can do anything. This is when you make your action and decide what you want to do.
The same old walls, the same old lines, we will be called to arms sometime.
Go, be, do. Go to interesting places, Montana. Be with interesting people, all of you. Do interesting things, save the world.
For us to maintain harmony with our planet, as we all know, we need to change our behavior.
Be who you are where you are. When a room like this looks like me, like you, we have larger space to bring new ideas and solve for bigger things.
So my passionate plea to you is, help us ignite irreversible momentum in creating a global mentor movement so that every man, woman, and child on this planet has the opportunity to grow and share their story with the next generation.
We will be called to arms.
The next generation, they're the future. They're the ones that are going to be, carrying the water for what our planet and that connection actually looks like.
Steelcase was so excited about the opportunity to partner with the Next Gen program at Hatch. We understood early on that the only way for us to come up with systemic solutions for social impact was by empowering the next generation of changemakers.
It's amazing getting advice from people that you wouldn't have access to otherwise.
I'm going to continue communicating with a mentor I met here at Hatch. She really helped me discover a project that I'm passionate about.
I'm excited that the next generation is getting over the BS that we throw out there, and they're demanding that we change the world. And not only that, they're demanding that they participate in changing the world and being a part of it.
There is a huge urgency regarding climate change because it's by far the greatest threat we're facing.
I ask that if you are a woman in the STEM field, or if you know a woman in the STEM field, connect with me so that you may share your stories, because it's those kinds of stories that I myself needed when I was growing up.
We're trying to work out there, solve these big problems, and why are we trying these experiments with ourselves? How do we change all the things out there by perhaps starting to change with what's going on here?
I have a quote by civil rights activist Angela Davis. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept.
My mantra is be deliberate to be creative. It will not happen by accident.
I believe that art has the power to change the world. I believe artists don't point at problems, they hold mirrors and reflect back on them. And so really what I want to do is empower artists, poets and musicians to follow their purpose in the world and make a difference.
I hear rolling waves pounding in my